Well, we're about ready to get going with our afternoon races, and we'll start out with our Italian Marque race, an 8-lap race for our race drivers who are driving Italian Marques this weekend, which is the Marque of the year. And our race on video is presented by GMC. I'm happy to say that a local driver has the pole for this race, and that's Don Wanigat of New Kensington, Pennsylvania, in car number 74, the red Alfa Romeo GTV, on the pole with a fastest time of a 2:27.8. And again, originally these cars came to race in a variety of race groups, and we'll see them in their individual race groups later on. But we'll start out with an Italian Marque race, gathering cars from a variety of the classes. Don Wanigat on the pole. Starting second, car 227 from the under 1.5 liter category, and that's Bradley Price from Brooklyn, New York, in a 1959 Alfa Romeo Giulietta Spider Veloce. Starting third, car 55, Dottie Bechtel from Pittsburgh in her yellow Alfa Spider, 1972 Alfa Romeo Spider. Dottie, a member of the racing family, the Bechtels. John Bechtel here racing his Porsche 914-6 a little later on this afternoon. And actually, Dottie's group will be a little later on as well. Starting fourth, Pittsburgher from Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania, Mark Mailing, the driver of car 113. It's a lime green colored 1959 Abarth. It's a kind of a Fiat Abarth, although this particular one was completely built by the Abarth company, a Scorpion SS, and a car that that Mark's been bringing here to the races at Shenley Park for a number of years now, and it's the only, still, I think, the only Scorpion that I've seen on a racetrack, so it's a gem. Mark also was hoping to bring an Austin Healey Sprite to race, or it might be an MG Midget. It's a Spridget anyway, a car that he recently obtained, but he had some technical problems with the car and can't be racing this weekend in that, but he is racing his Abarth Scorpion, car 113. Starting next, that's starting fifth, is car 212, Michael Fazzi from Midlothian, Virginia, in a Fiat 850 Spider. Starting next is car 555, Santos Spadaro from Rybrook, New York, in a 1958 Alfa Sprint Veloce. You'll see the Alfa Giulietta Spider, that's the Roadster, and the Sprint usually designates the hardtop, the coupe version of the car. Starting seventh, car 43, Daniel Todd from Red Hill, Pennsylvania, in an Alfa Giulietta Spider. Starting eighth, from Knowlton, Quebec, just to the east of Montreal, driver of car 328, Alain Raymond, driving his Abarth 1000 TC, a car that looks like a Fiat 600 on steroids. And interesting story about that car. He broke a spindle, left front spindle yesterday, just snapped off. That's the kind of incident that can happen and send the wheel spinning off, but it didn't come all the way off. And so last night his crew was scrambling and found some competitors and the local garage owner, Jim Boffo, who had some Fiat parts and some Fiats in his scrapyard, and they cut apart a left front suspension overnight and this morning and put the pieces on and have resurrected the car. And it went out and looked extremely fast this morning. In the practice session, Alain said afterwards the car was as fast as it's ever been. So a great effort, not only by Alain's mechanics last night and this morning, but he said from other competitors. And that's the way the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix drivers and race teams seem to work here at Shenley Park. There's a lot of cooperative action, even from competitors, lending and giving each other parts and expertise and tips and work and so on in the paddock, often unseen. So we want to make sure that we recognize that special Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix spirit that's here once again this weekend. That's car 328. And actually, you'll see it in the poster art. It's up front in the poster is a Ferrari 250 GT, and then right behind it this is Alain's car, car number 328, the red and white Fiat. Starting ninth, car 815, Joe Parlanti from North Potomac, Maryland, in a 1959 Abarth Zagato 750. And I'm not sure whether we'll see him, but if he's here, Scott Hill will be starting car 143. Scott Hill from Middletown, New York, in a 1960 Alfa Giulietta. So we are under 5 minutes, or do we have cars on course? We are under 5? All right, they are on their pace lap now. They go out behind the pace car and some safety cars. They lap slowly, and when they get near us, by the serpentine is the squiggly bit at the last part of the circuit where the cars come down in S's between the stone walls from the golf course. Then the field kind of slows down and bunches up. The pace car runs off into the distance, and then the field approaches the start line right to my right, and either they get a green flag to start or a wave off, and almost always we'll get a start here for the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix. So the first of our races this weekend, actually I shouldn't say that, we did have a British Heritage race yesterday afternoon. Most of the races in the afternoon were really qualifying races, but we did have one race yesterday afternoon. It was the British Heritage race, and I have results I can pass along to you as soon as I find them in my stack of papers. But this is the first race of today, and the first time that we'll see the Italian marques out working to win. So welcome once again to Shenley Park for the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix. Here come our safety and pace cars. The two safety cars are in the pace car. For most of the races, I think, today will be the Jaguar F-Type S, that beautiful coupe that will be leading the field. Very interesting car. It's got this particular model has a button on the console, and the image on the button is a pair of exhaust pipes. And it really is a loud button. We used to talk about in race cars and sports cars, you have a loud pedal. This car has a loud button, and it actually makes the exhaust louder. And when you hear the driver really drive this car fast, it's loud anyway. And the loud button just makes it louder more often. It's quite an option, I must say. All right, pace car is in. And we've got 9 or 10 cars coming down here. Don Wannigat is the red Alpha GTV on the inside. Bradley Price, the white Alpha Giulietta Spider on the outside. We have a start. Wannigat jumps immediately into the lead. Again, because we've gathered cars from a variety of race classes for this all-Italian Marque race, we have quite a span of speed capabilities here. And Don Wannigat's quick time in qualifying yesterday was a good almost 5 seconds quicker than the second qualifying car, Bradley Price. So no surprise that Don Wannigat has run off with the lead as soon as the green flag fell. Don is an Alpha specialist, by the way, and has worked on several of the cars in this race, several of the Alphas that are, and works on Alpha custom cars. So if you have troubles with your Alpha, if you've got an Alfa Romeo or a 5, want an expert to take a look at it, the guy is from Kensington. Steer you wrong. First lap is underway. Cars disappear from here. We don't know what's going on, but we do have a way of monitoring the corner-to-corner communication system. So my trusty assistant over here, my wife, will be monitoring the corner-to-corner communication system, and we'll try to pass along information as we pick it up about what's going on course, incidents, and so on. So Dottie Bechtel is out in this group that I mentioned. She is a Pittsburgher, driving the yellow Alfa Duetto, car 55, the Alpha Spider. Qualified third. I think she's running third at the moment. The cars are wending their way around the golf course as they head toward the top of the Serpentine. And coming down out of the Serpentine, we'll see them shortly here at the finish line. Don Vonnegut in the lead. Dottie Bechtel running second. No, pardon me. Yes, second. And that's car 95, the white Alpha GTV, a car that looks just like Don Vonnegut's car. In third place, Kevin Corrigan from Clarkston, Michigan. In third place, just behind Don second. Late entry, I think, for this particular race, and he wasn't on my list. So one lap complete. Now, while these are relatively short races, they're planned to be about 8 laps in length. While the cars are out in this race, we're bringing the cars down. The paddock will line up on what we call the false grid, which is where the cars are sit in qualifying order before they go out to start their race. So behind the scenes, while these things are going on, other things are going on in preparation for the upcoming races. Great to have you with us here at Shanley Park on this beautiful weekend, the 33rd running of the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix. A note that car 227 has gone into the hay bales at Station 9, and that's 227. Bradley Price, that's why we didn't see him come by this time. He was the second qualifying car, expected to see him behind Don Vonnegut, and so they're going to, often they will wait, if the car is in a safe position, they will wait and bring him in at the end of the session. But if he is not in a safe position, the corner workers can request that a tow vehicle go out and bring him in during the race just to get him out of the way. And in fact, that's what they've done. So they're going to try to get the Bradley Price's Alpha off the course. So you may see a rope tow vehicle out there to bring him in. Here's Vonnegut again, leading lap 2. Dottie Bechtel has her mirrors full of car 95, Kevin Corrigan. An identification for him. Just looking to find it on my list, and I don't see it at the moment. So 2 laps down out of 8. Just got a view right here of the so-called double bubble, the Fiat Abarth. Two-seater coupe with a trademark double bubble roof. Now, other people copied that double bubble, even as late as the recent Dodge and Chrysler Vipers with the roof, but it came from this car actually back in the 1950s. A car so small that in order to get a driver with a helmet on, they had to bump up the roof. So they made 2 bumps for the driver and passenger if there was going to be one. And often these little cars are called double bubbles. Alain Raymond going out of camera view there. Car 555, the Alfa Giulietta Sprint, the coupe. That's Santos Spadaro. Dottie Bechtel is having a great battle here. She's holding on to second place, but Kevin Corrigan is right off her back bumper. I thought we were going to see a pass here, right on this very short stretch here between the start line and the first turn, but it didn't happen this time. Mark Mailing in that lime green Abbas Scorpion. About, I want to say 7th perhaps at the moment. Car 57 is the one that I can't find a driver's name for. Another one of the Alpha Julia Coupes that's out there, a car that looks like Don Woniget's car. In fact, Don Woniget's engine and spare engine and transmission are from the driver, I think, last weekend. Either a transmission problem that damaged the engine or vice versa. Both had to be replaced, and Woniget said, well, I've got a spare. And so his spare are in car 57. There's a slow-moving car heading toward the pit. 212, Michael Fatsi, the Fiat 850 Spider. We're looking at car 328. That's Alain Raymond from Quebec. We have a new leader. Kevin Corrigan has taken the lead. He's gotten past both Dottie Bechtel and Don Woniget. So that's a surprise. We didn't see the pass happen, so I can't tell you where it happened or whether he got past both of them at the same time. But new leader, Kevin Corrigan. Fastest time so far in this race set by Kevin Corrigan, our leader, at 2:26.7. Leader has completed 4 laps, so we're halfway through this 8-lap race. Drivers were telling me this morning that the course is in really fine shape. There's a lot of grip to this pavement. I asked about changes that have been made on the Panther Hollow Bridge. Had they made it more difficult? The racing line there on the bridge is a little narrower than it had been in previous years. There's now a bike lane on the Panther Hollow Bridge, but apparently it is, the circuit is very fast this weekend. Well, we've mentioned before the challenge of running on this course, because they're public roads. They have a crown, so the center of the road is higher. And if you're going around a corner, that means you need to be on the correct side of the street not to be thrown off the corner. But curbs and trees and light poles and so on, stone walls, really present a unique challenge, a challenge that most of these racers don't encounter when they go to a regular racetrack. So it does require a special approach. At the end of the races, each race today will have a little ceremony, as we usually do, right past the finish line. As the cars head up into the paddock, we'll gather the top racers in each field, and we'll do a little ceremony over there, and we'll have a camera that'll shoot it for you. And so it's always fun to talk to the drivers at the end of a race and get their view of the race and the weekend and how everything has gone and so on. So we'll be doing that through the afternoon. We'll get a chance to meet, probably we'll be meeting Kevin Corrigan. Oh, look, new leader again now. It's Don Wannigat. Nice to have so many Alphas racing this weekend. There have been years that we haven't had many Alphas at all, and Alfa Romeo has such a long and illustrious racing history, going back to the golden era of Grand Prix racing. Alfa Romeos were the world champions right before and right after the Second World War. So this is a great battle now for the lead. Dottie Bechtel is now has fallen back to third place, but a terrific battle between Kevin Corrigan in the white Alfa GTV 95 and Don Wannigat in the red one, car 74. This track is 2.33 miles in length, and they make about 8 circuits, usually in our feature races. So Bradley Price, who had pulled off the white Alfa, they were going to go out and tow him in, and then he apparently told the corner workers that he'd been able to get his car restarted, and he may pull back onto the course. In fact, I think we'll see him. I think the car is back on course, and we'll probably either be stopping here or resuming the race. We'll see, but he's down a couple of laps. Bradley Price in car 227. Yes, we hear car 227 is back on the course, headed in our direction, I think. He had been off at station 9, which is somewhere over near Phipps Conservatory, just about the opposite side of the course from where we sit here at start-finish. And in fact, here he is, and he's back racing again. Yep, there he goes. I think the 1 lap to go sign is being shown. And when it gets shown to those two guys, our two leaders, Don Wannigat and Kevin Corrigan, I guess you'd call it hammer time. Over the next 2 1/3 miles. Dottie Bechtel still in a very fine third place. Just confirming that car 74 this past lap is our leader, Don Wannigat. The red, or as the corner workers say, crimson Alfa GTV. There's a battle of 2 of the Abarth cars there. Fiat Freakout is here this weekend. It's the National Fiat Club's national gathering. They chose the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix this year for their annual get-together, and I hope they're still up there today. I know yesterday when I was in the Cortile area, the area where we display all of our Italian cars, there was a huge number of Italian cars there. All right, the leader is at station 18, which means they're about to come down toward the finish line. That's right around the top of the Serpentine. It was Don Wannigat last time, but also Kevin Corrigan was right on his tail. We'll try to get an idea who is your leader. And here they come, and it is, oh, look how close that is. I thought we were gonna have a photo finish there. It really looked as though Kevin Corrigan was going to kind of push Don Wannigat out of the way, but Wannigat takes the win. Kevin Corrigan second. Donnie Bechtel third, unofficially. And we'll have to see. My computer is telling me that Alain Raymond in the car 328 is our fourth place finisher. That's unofficial. And fifth, I see car 555 Santos Spadaro. But we'll double check to see if that's right. And when they come in at the end of their cool-off lap, they'll stop right down the way from us here, and I'll take a walk, and we'll go and talk to them before they get their awards for winning, for top three places actually, 1, 2, and 3. Here's Alain Raymond. So we hang out a signboard with numbers on it, and that tells the drivers which ones we want to stop here for the awards ceremony, because the drivers don't necessarily know whether they'll be honored. If you finish in third place, you wouldn't necessarily know that you got that. We don't have pit boards. There's no crew members hanging out pit boards to tell their drivers that they're in second place or third place. So we'll signal them, and they'll pull in. And I will hang up the headphones here and take a walk down toward our victory circle. It looked like a lot of fun, and you really had a lot of fun.
Oh, good, because the drivers had a lot of fun too.
Well, let me say hello to Kevin Corrigan.
Yes, sir.
Well, have we seen you in the car before?
No, I don't think so.
Well, it was a lot of fun. Where did you start in this race? Because I ran down the grid and I thought, who is that guy, and what car is that?
Second to last. They didn't pick up my qualifying time.
Well, actually, it's kind of fun to start back there if you've got a fast car, isn't it?
It is, absolutely.
And it must have been fun carving through the pack. How do you like this track?
It's a great track. I'd happily come back next year.
And you're here from?
Michigan. Clarkston, Michigan.
Well, I'm glad you came this year. I do hope we see the car again. That was a great an Alpha 123. It was outstanding. Dottie, that was really cool. I mean, you were up there. in the among the front runners all the way through the race, and this guy came up from behind out of nowhere.
I know. He wasn't there, and then he was, and then he was gone.
It was great. It looked like the car was good, and the track apparently is good this weekend.
Yeah, it is good. There's a couple rough spots down before start finish, but it's good. You can avoid most of them. It's a hot day, though. Let me tell you, it's hot in those cars.
Now, I think a lot of spectators would think because you know it's an open top car that you get a nice breeze. But you're not really feeling it.
No, I mean, we've got so many clothes on. We've got layers and layers of fireproof shoes, socks, underwear, suits, a baklava under our helmet and our helmet. It's just really, really hot.
You're really working in there too.
That's probably what you can't appreciate. There's when I go into the serpentine, I'm kind of gritting my teeth just to get around the turn. It is a lot of work to hang onto the steering wheel.
Dottie, great race. Congratulations.
Thanks, Ted.
Dottie Bechtel. And there's another award that they give out, and they did it last weekend at Pit Race as well. And I think it must be a coincidence, but Alain Raymond, I think, got the Workers' Choice last weekend. And are you the Workers' Choice again this weekend?
Am I? Well, to the workers who thank you for the award, and thank you mostly for all the work that they do. They're all here and do phenomenal. Thank you all. Thank you to the organizer. Thank you, Ted, for your broadcasts. And thank you for the city of Pittsburgh for putting on such a fantastic, welcoming show.
Alain, thanks for your enthusiasm for bringing this great car, and I hope you come back for many years.
Thank you, I shall.
Alain Raymond, thank you.